All right, let's talk Black Friday. We all know it, right? The biggest, craziest shopping day of the year. But what if I told you the story behind its name? Well, it's way darker and honestly, way more twisted than you've ever been led to believe. They've been hiding some things from you. So, you've probably heard that official story, haven't you? You know, the one about retailers finally going into the black for the year, moving from a loss in the red to a profit. It's such a neat, tidy little story. The only problem? It's not true. Not even close. Okay, so get ready for this. When we really started digging into it, we didn't just find one story. We found three, and they're all layered on top of each other. We've got the convenient lie, the absolute chaos, and a full-blown catastrophe. Yeah, it's a wild ride. All right, first up, the convenient lie. This is the one you know, the story that retailers have been pushing for decades. Yep, this is the one. The simple, feel-good story that says Black Friday is when all the stores finally start making money for the year. It makes perfect sense, right? It sounds great in a press release, but that's all it is. A marketing invention, a piece of corporate storytelling. But here's where it all falls apart. Just look at the timeline. The term Black Friday was already a thing back in the 1960s. And trust me, it had a really negative meaning. That whole positive accounting story, that didn't pop up until the 1980s. We're talking 2 decades later. This is the key right here. Retailers took a name that already existed and they completely rebranded it. So the big question is, why? So to figure that out, we have to go back to Philadelphia in the 60s, because that's where the name Black Friday was born. And it wasn't born from profit. It was born from pure, unfiltered pain. Okay, section 2, the chaos in Philadelphia. And this is where the story gets real. The original name had absolutely nothing to do with successful shopping and everything to do with total mayhem. And listen to this quote from a reporter who was actually there, it just says it all. For the cops in Philly, the day after Thanksgiving was an absolute nightmare. Seriously, it was the darkest, most dreaded day on their calendar. It was their Black Friday. So picture this, okay? This was not a party. Every single year, the city just got completely swamped with people. You had shoppers, you had tourists, all pouring in for the huge Army-Navy football game that was happening on Saturday. And the result? Just pure chaos. The traffic was a nightmare, total gridlock. Shoplifting went through the roof, and you had these police officers just getting destroyed working these grueling 12-hour shifts. The retailers, they actually hated the name Black Friday back then. They even tried to rebrand it as Big Friday. Can you believe that? But it just didn't work. The original name was just too perfect, and it stuck. Okay, so we have a name that was born from total citywide chaos. But what if I told you that's not even the real origin? What if even the Philly cops weren't the first ones to use it? What if the name was stolen? Stolen from one of the absolute darkest days in American financial history. And that brings us to our third story, the stolen name. Because yeah, before it was about traffic jams and shopping deals, the original Black Friday was a national catastrophe. Check this out. We're going way back to 1869. You've got these 2 Wall Street guys who decide they're gonna try and corner the entire US gold market. A crazy idea, right? Well, they started buying up so much gold that the price just went ballistic, and it literally threatened to bankrupt the entire country. So to stop them, the government steps in and just floods the market with gold. And what happened? On Friday, September 24th, the whole thing just imploded. The market crashed. I mean, just look at the difference here. It's insane. The original Black Friday was a day of total financial ruin, a national disaster where people lost everything. That name meant collapse. And now, today, that exact same name has been completely co-opted to mean the total opposite. It's a party, a celebration of massive profits and shopping till you drop. So, where does that leave us? We have 3 completely different layers to this one story. We have a financial catastrophe, we have urban chaos, and we have a corporate lie. So, how do we piece this all together? It really breaks down into 3 steps. First, you have the tragedy in 1869. The name is born from a true financial catastrophe. Then, almost 100 years later, it gets repurposed by the police in the 1960s to describe pure chaos. And finally, the third step, marketing. In the 1980s, corporate marketers just scrubbed the whole negative history clean.
They erased it, and they sold us this neat little lie about profits. They literally took a name that meant disaster and turned it into a global brand for shopping.
And you know, they may have tried to scrub that history away, but they can never quite get rid of the chaos, could they? If you think that part of the story is ancient history, well, think again. Look at this number, 17. That's the number of people who have actually died in Black Friday shopping events just since 2006. The mayhem that those Philly cops used to dread, yeah, it's still very, very much alive.
So there you have it. We've laid out all the evidence. A name born from a financial crash, then redefined by total chaos, and finally repackaged as a corporate lie. So now it's up to you. You get to be the judge. The next time you hear the words Black Friday, which story are you going to think of? The chaos, the lie, or the catastrophe? Let us know what you decide.